Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here, the Wanderlust CEO. I have my good friend Ravyn here from the Sweetheart Society. Sweet spelled like a hotel suite, which I think is so cute. And Ravyn, we're celebrating. You just graduated Careers on Vacation. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. It was a lot, but it was great and I loved it and I've learned so much.
Oh, I'm so glad. What do you feel like has been your biggest? Well, actually, let me start with this question. Where was your business before doing Careers on Vacation, and where is it now?
So good question. I actually started as a travel agent back in 2019. So even though I joined Careers and Vacation this year, if you think about it, July of 2019, 7 months later or a few months later, we were hit with COVID. So as I started kind of just getting my feet wet and even started to get like my first return clients, everything was shut down for quite a couple of years. Even when travel opened back up, I still had to deal with clients being hesitant to travel. So it kind of left me feeling like, should I stay as a travel agent? Should I not? And then because I was such a newbie, I was still kind of figuring out how to set up my business foundation wise, still learning the industry because it's completely different than what we think about when we book travel for ourselves. So I would say that now after Careers on Vacation, I have a bigger um understanding of the industry, and
Mhm.
it's the best thing that that has done for me is given me the confidence to be able to feel like I can sell and plan trips for anybody because I know I'm capable, but translating that over to a client can be difficult when you're new.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I love what you said about just kind of having to reboot after the pandemic. If you started in 2019 and you were just kind of getting your foothold or you're just kind of investigating and then the pandemic hit and so much has changed. Now we're in like what we call a post-pandemic era in the industry, how we charge fees, how we handle insurance waivers. A lot of things have changed in this new world. So being new in 2019, that would have been an interesting kind of switch over. So I'm glad that you kind of leaned in and said, I don't want to give up on it, but I want to do it in a bigger way. And you found us. That's amazing. What do you feel like have been some of your biggest personal wins or celebrations since taking the program?
Well, since taking the program, I really love the new Wonder Path. That has really kind of helped me focus because of being so overwhelmed. You're not just learning the travel industry, you're starting a new business, which is something that is kind of like for me in my mind, we're completely separate. I had to be both. And then starting out, you're kind of doing everything yourself. I always tell my husband, I'm the accountant, I'm the social media manager, I'm the travel agent, I'm the business person, I'm the attorney, non-attorney. Like it's just everything. You're having so many hats, and that's not including the other hats you wear throughout the day, whether you're a mom, a wife, or you still have a part-time job. So it was just a lot kind of to handle, but being in COV, that Wonder Path kind of helped scale everything down. Okay, this is what you could do. And it really laid the foundation for me to be able to focus on the task at hand and then be able to move on to the next step so that I wasn't really overwhelmed and I got much more accomplished. So now I've hired a virtual assistant through a recommendation of COV who is doing my website that I've been trying to do for a year. I have followed Kelly, who has given me so many social media tips, especially like on Instagram. My marketing and my concept of marketing is completely great, especially with Wonderless Social. I have subscribed and it is literally taken like a bundle just off of me, pretty much, especially
Yeah,
as
and
a owner.
I love that you brought up the Wander Pass because understanding the right tools, the right technology, but not just that. A lot of people will say, "Well, if I'm with a host, I don't necessarily need COV," and it's actually the opposite. Even if you are with a host, you get a Wander Path based on your host. And it's triggered off of which host that you're with because we know what technology is included with them, what you need, what you don't need, and that path. So we literally have 10 different Wander Paths. Plus, if you're not using vetted hosts or you're going independent, we also have a Wander Path for that. So what the Wander Path is, if that's the first time you've heard that, because sometimes that tool doesn't come up in these case studies, but the Wander Path is like a little booklet that gives you your specific instructions based on what type of business you told us you want to run. And if you're hosting, if you're not, and if you are hosting, literally leveled down right to exactly what host. So Ravyn was able to go in and go, okay, I need this, I don't need this, this is optional, this is required, this is highly recommended, and put her business together in a way that feels good to her. It's in line with her goals, not necessarily her host goals. And so she knows that she can graduate out of hosting if she chooses to in the future, or she can go independent at any point, or she can stay with her host and be in a happy home and have her business tools kind of aligned in one place. So thanks for bringing that up, Ravyn. We don't talk about the Wander Pass a lot, but I think you're right. That is like we were on the live calls yesterday and someone was like, I'm stuck. I'm like, what does your Wander Path say? And they're like, oh yeah, it's right here for me. So it's
Great.
one of those that just keeps you in momentum and keeps you in action. I love that you hired a VA because that's where, like you said, you've been stuck for a year and a half. So working in this community where we're like, we recommend you do this and this and this, it helps you make those decisions faster so you can kind of get into action, which I love. Now, you mentioned you kind of hinted at mindset a little bit. How do you feel like the mindset work that we integrate all through the program has helped you either in your life or business?
Oh, I mean, mindset is everything, and Brandon whips you into shape. So I hear his voice in the back of my mind. One specific mindset course that he did that I always remember is the one on procrastination. And that one probably sticks in my mind the most, especially when I don't want to do something, because then I stop and reevaluate what I do. And I can't tell you how many times I've like remembered what he said and then I do it and it's literally taken me 5 minutes. Something that I would have like mulled over for 3 days when I could have just picked up the
Mhm.
phone and called a supplier and just asked the question and they answer it very quickly. So mindset has been extremely important because it's the motivating factor, right? So it helps us kind of push through those things, especially because, like I said, everything is new, not only the new industry, but even just kind of revising your mind as a business owner. So listening to Brandon and then of course starting to listen to other business owners, I realized that they all have these kind of like disciplines that if we all adopt, we all can be successful. And that's really, I feel like mindset is really the thing because we can learn a skill, but if you don't have the mindset, I don't know if we would be as successful because we're kind of just like going against each other.
Yeah, it's like a multiplier for your business, right? Like once you
Yeah.
can clear those energy leaks, get rid of those limiting beliefs and just start thinking. That's what we want you guys thinking like CEOs and like business owners and be able to get rid of that little stuff that holds us back so much. And Brandon is exceptional at that. So I'm so glad that you were able to kind of dive deep. And I know what you're talking about when you get in those sessions and he's like, let me just get this all ready. And like literally in 15 minutes, he's got you on the right path, which is fantastic. I love
Yeah.
that's amazing. So that's awesome. And then I wanted to also ask you, so you've been in the unique position of being behind the scenes now. You know what it's like to show up and get inside Wanderlust campus, get all of your tools unlocked. You know, we just unlocked another freebie tool. I don't know if you saw that on the grad page yesterday, but we unlocked the My Business tool, which is now part of Wanderlust campus. But you get this inside environment, you get the support group day to day, and then you also get the live calls where you get to work with the experts, you get to work with me. Talk to us a little bit about what's something you didn't know, or what would you want people to know if they're on the fence about starting with Careers on Vacation about what happens behind the curtain of our environment.
Um, okay, real quick story. Before I started, I had definitely like tried to find all your former students and DM them on social media. And I'm like, is this worth the money? And one of the students, Teresa Bailey, thank you, she reached out to me, but not only did she DM me, she sent me her phone number and she said, call me. And like that was the phone call that made me join Careers on Vacation because she was pretty much like, this is going to be a game changer. She said,
Mm.
and I remember the last question she asked me, she said, like, pretty much, if you're ready to like change and rock your world, then join. If you're not, don't do it. Pretty much. So she was
Oh, I
really,
love it because you
really,
got to do the work. And you know what, Ravyn, last week Teresa hit her $1 million in sales.
See?
Yes, I didn't know you were going to bring her name up today, but she's continued on in our other program now. She's scaling an agency, but I didn't even know that call happened. But that is our community. It's community over competition, right?
It really is. And I just thought, first of all, I thought it was so sweet that she reached out to me at all because she really didn't have to. So I feel like her doing that for me wants me to tell everyone else, like, if you're worried about the price tag, if you're worried about not getting, I mean, there's so many courses out there, right, that we see on Instagram. My feed is always flooded and you kind of get this thought in your head, is it really worth it? It's worth it. Yes, you get the pre-recorded videos, but because you have the live calls, because you have the coach, because you have the Facebook group, and you guys are actively in it, you constantly get this communication and learning in that group setting. You're constantly learning about questions that you haven't even thought of. Because for me, I'm always saying you need to be in the room with the person that asked the right question. You don't know if the question doesn't even exist. And so Careers on Vacation gives you that environment where you're able to, like, wow, oh, I didn't think about that. Can we do that? Can we not do that? And
That's it right there, Ravyn. It's you don't know what you don't know. And when I look at different travel businesses, I always say it's the questions that you don't even know to ask are the ones that will get you in the most trouble. Like, what legal form should I have in place? What should my pre-qualification phase look like? How do I successfully ask for fees? Whatever things that might pop up that might not be on your radar, they come out in that 12 weeks of interacting, because you're also interacting with new agents and experienced agents, and then the experts, and the training is live. We're the only program in the industry that has that human touch. And I've been educating going on 30 years now, but it's one of those things where I know you can help a person more when you are in that environment where it's like human to human, eyeball to eyeball, versus if you have 3 programs on your hard drive right now that you haven't opened, you haven't touched, you haven't finished, and they're just gathering dust in cyberspace, that stuff doesn't get you into action. But when you're in a community and then you're in this, kind of where like do this step, then do this, and it's one thing at a time. And then by the end of 12 weeks, you are where you are, which is really, really cool.
it's great.
I love that. Well, and guys, if you want to learn a little bit more about Careers on Vacation, I highly recommend you go over to travelschool.com. If you're ready to apply for the program, you can visit us at careersonvacation.com/ready now. And that is literally just setting an appointment with our enrollment counselor so we can learn about your goals. If your goals are a match for what we do, then we'll talk to you about the application process. If not, we'll give you a recommendation on what you should do. There's no hard feelings. Like we just said, it's community over competition as far as our philosophy here at Wanderlust Campus. But you do get to work with real people, and Ravyn is filming, I think, case study number like 253 at this point. We are the most reviewed educational program in the industry, and we are also an ASTA affiliated travel school. So you can see all that information over on our website for sure. But Ravyn, last question, would you recommend Careers on Vacation? But why would you recommend us? What's the number one reason why you'd recommend us?
Oh, there's so many. That's hard. I would absolutely recommend Careers on Vacation. If you want to be successful as a travel agent and feel equipped and, like I said, from the jump, confident to be able to do your job well, then you should join Careers on Vacation. I don't know what else to say.
I
You have to
love
join.
it. You heard it here, folks. We don't pay for reviews. So, and honestly, it's our honor to help you if you guys are ready to step in. And like Ravyn said, you got to do the work, but we will absolutely give you the roadmap to having better results in your travel business. But Ravyn, we are going to see you over in the grad group, and we're going to be cheering for you. Now you have all of the tools, resources, you're all set up to scale your business up. As the next call we're going to have is someone's going to be on, they're going to say, Ravyn talked to me, and I'm going to say, Ravyn just had her $1 million, and I can't wait for that day. And joining our $1 million club. That's the goal. So I'm gonna thank Teresa for that as well. And I'm gonna keep my eye on you, because I'm sure you are on the same path that Teresa was, just where you're in your same seat like a year and a half ago. So
Thank you.
Well, Ravyn, thanks for being on the show today and sharing your story. Hang out in the green room for me and we'll talk. And everybody else, I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys. guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out all of the other content on our channel. And if you want to follow along and travel with me around the world and see how I run my amazing travel brands and get some great tips on how to grow your own, make sure you check out that other content. I'm going to drop a couple videos here. Click those links. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.